Yo, what's up, guys? So, I am going to show y'all what the strongest Dragunity board is currently. I don't think there's any other text you can add in, and I've been experimenting. And I think overall, this is the most consistent end board that you can get, or the strongest end board with the most consistency. As you already see, we hard drew the oblite, so that's actually going to be really clutch in this game, pretty much guaranteeing us the victory. Um, Royal, you're going to see a lot of those. Overall, this hand is a pretty good one. It technically loses to Ash depending on what our triple tactics talents is, but thankfully our opponent just wasn't skilled enough to open Ash. So, and you'll see why. So we're gonna hit the fast forward, and I'm gonna just kind of talk about the combo itself and why I think it's just so strong. So, as you guys have already seen on multiple occasions, that I've decided to incorporate Shooting Majestic Dragon into my deck. You can see there's the Ghost of Griffin right there that I was mentioning the other day. And I think Shooting Majestic Dragon into Dragunity is actually a really amazing tech to add in. It's basically DPE, but better. If you're able to get it out, of course, it's better. But it does require, I call it technically 2 additional garnets because you do have to play the Samsara Dragon, whereas your normal Dragunity board, you technically don't need Samsara Dragon to make it happen. With your Borlo, Dragunity Arid Beer, and Crystal Wing, and Erratic Seal, you could do that without Samsara Dragon. It just helps make it a little more consistent. But this version, and I mean, for the most part, you already seen this combo. Because as you can tell, this is the exact same combo that I showed the other day on how to do the Shooting Majestic and Borload without a normal summon. As you can tell, it's literally the same. Which is why I just decided to just kind of let it play. Maybe some of the cards I discarded or whatever was a little bit different, but the hand was good enough to where I didn't need the extra discard to put the Phalanx in grave. So we get our Royal Shooting Majestic. Then we get our Borlo Savage Dragon. I have a Royal one on my mobile account. And then we use our Ravine in order to get our Dragunity Senatus, because he is actually the best Dragunity normal summon in the game. I do not like ducks. It requires a little bit too much setup. As you can see here, the normal summon is good to the point where it gives me the full inboard. And I had this exact same inboard before, but then I ended up just getting Rongoed, and that wasn't entertaining. Because I ended up just quitting. So here's the board. So we're ending on Shooting Majestic. This is an Omni Negate. We got Borlo Savage Dragon, another Omni Negate. Dragunity Knight, Edderbeer. For a Monster Negate, that banishes. I mean, technically both these banishes. We have a Bounce, and then we have our Counter Trap for a Spell Trap. So if they try to Dark Ruler or Forbidden Droplets, nobody plays Dark Ruler no more. But if they try to Forbidden Droplets, they don't sit a trap, we'll bleed it. That pretty much just wins you the duel right there. They usually have to send, they usually send 4 cards, minimum 2. They usually just hit the Omnis. But yeah, this board is crazy powerful. And even if you're getting Kaiju'd, foreshadowing, because there's so many bodies on the field, they can't hit everything. And because nobody knows about the oblique, or even if they do, they generally don't take out this guy, because they're like, this is an Omni Negate, this is an Omni Negate. So if they have like a Lava Golem, they hit these 2 and then leave him on the field. So your Spell Trap Negate is still online. You still have a Monster Negate. You still have your Bounce. And as you know, I play Kyoki Meteor Dragon, so I prevent Light and Dark special summons off of it. So it's really like 5 interruptions. Yeah, that happens. But our opponent is playing Bad Runic, so there's the first fountain, and there's a reason why I say the first fountain. So as you see here, they're milling all the Runic cards, which for Runic isn't that big of a deal, because you could get these back with your fountain. That's the second fountain. Thankfully for them, they didn't mill the third one. They ended up into a Cyberstein. So I went ahead and just bounced that back and got him out to prevent them from special summoning. And now with that activated, they skip their battle phase. So it doesn't matter what all they activate. I'll bleep the final fountain that they have. And so yeah, sure, whatever, you can do that. Destroy that. And we survived. And technically speaking, all 3 of their fountains are gone. Now, sadly, I couldn't ulticate them here, but we get pretty close to it. And I went to, and so Dragunity does have follow-up. We do play more Dragunity glows, so there is still the follow-up. I wanted to try to OTK, but there just wasn't a way to get it here. And I only played the 2 seal. So we are exactly 100 off. I could have made him into this guy, but I just said screw it. We'll just leave the bodies. Opponent does that and then decides to scoop. So there you go. So yep, that is the strongest Dragunity board in my opinion. I don't think you can make a better one that's more consistent without having to completely brick your deck out. Because I've played with other Dragunity players, and there are some stronger end boards that are even harder to break because like they have trap cards that can special during your opponent's turn. So even if you dark rule their board, they still have a floodgate to summon into as long as their combo pops out. But the difference is they have to see their Dragunity Remiss, whereas I don't. I can make this same board, normal summoning Sinitus and discarding any Dragunity card in my hand. And in some of those cases, it's actually Remiss. If I expect my opponent to have like a infinite impermanence, it's actually a way to play around it because nobody knows how to play around Dragunity. So, and of course, deck list, because I did see the one person who commented like within 20 minutes of my other video asking for the deck list. There was no deck list for that one because it wasn't a deck list. It's just showing a combo. But here is the current deck list that I'm running with. It's 49 cards. The numbers, ratios, all that stuff is always getting flexed around, just kind of depending on what my hands look like in the ladder. Sometimes I'll run my Miss Valley Baby Rock. Recently, I've been feeling more Gusto Griffin. Again, the reason being is because it says if this card is sent, you can use it with Dragon Ravine. So you use Dragon Ravine, send that, add whatever you need, or discard whatever you need. He special summons himself on the field, meaning that you don't need to search it with your Gate Dirg. So instead of searching it, you can search your Zephyros and then your Samsara, and then you can put a Phalanx into the grave to more reliably get you into your Shooting Majestic line and Borlo Savage Dragon without your normal summon. So having this is helpful, especially because there are hands you're going to open Tempest, and if you open Tempest and Gusto Griffin, you get to search off of Tempest to add your Dragunity Remiss, and then Gusto Griffin special summons itself, and then you have Dragunity Remiss in hand. You can just do the rest of your combo like normal. So I like Gusto Griffin for that exchange. Or if you happen to be going second, and you open and cracked out going second hand, you have Lightning Storm and Whirlwind and Forbidden Droplets. Most boards can't survive that, and especially if you, of course, your Gusto Griffin, because like you send the spell cards, you send it, and it still triggers off of Forbidden Droplets, so you still get it on the field. I think I have a match I saved against a Dark Magician player that just banished everything, and being able to special summon Gusto Griffin like that was a pretty clutch interaction. The extra deck is actually a little bit more flexible than it may appear. I'm running Pot of Prosperity, but I actually only mill 3. I don't mill 6. If you mill 6, you end up having to get rid of something on your end board. So typically when I open Pot, I get rid of 1, 2, and 3 because those cards I rarely ever use. This is actually only here in the event I go second, and I just want to go Whirlwind into him, into Crystal Wing to have like a negate if I get like Max Seed or something. Just so I have that negate on field and I can turbo out the rest of my cards. But in terms of minimum, you know, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, 5, 6, 7, you only need these 7 cards, or 8 for him. technically speaking. The rest are just kind of either, I like to have my seal on the field so I can special summon this guy, and I like to have him for follow up because this can either get you um, another missile team. So if you need to blow up the field, you can add him back from the graveyard to summon the Koos to then go into Ascalon and then just kind of banish their entire field. So you do have to follow up, especially because if there is a turn 3, you already have a free monster on field, most likely preventing them from playing, and then you just link it off and move on with the rest of your day. So this is what I'm playing. It could easily hit diamond. I know you guys probably saw I'm still in plat, but that's because I just didn't play last season like that, and I didn't really care. And yeah, I just wanted to show that. I've been seeing a lot of other Dragunity players. Honestly, I think I'm better. I think my end board is the strongest, most consistent, and most coherent of what you'll see. So, but if you disagree, feel free to let me know, and yeah, thanks for watching.